What's happening with you? Device not connected. Curtis Anderson. You guess we need to connect their mic before we can add them to the screen. Curtis Anderson, you got to connect. You must be on your phone, man. That shit's going to cause a problem, huh? Damn. Well, we're going to have bugs today, by the way, because what's going on, man? Well, we're gonna have some problems today, but we'll make it happen till we work it out. Hey, Curtis, let me know in the comment section, man, if you have a microphone or if you're on your phone. That might be why you can't connect to the stream yet. We got and Drew Titan, man. Drew, how are we doing the show? We're doing it on. Hey, put your email in the text, man. Put your email in the chat, Drew. Lowland Profits, Byron Chandlers, what's up? What's up? Much love, man. Blood Boxing's on vacation tonight. So he's on vacation out with his dad and at somewhere out there in Florida. Lowland Profits, Byron Chandlers, man. Much love in that super chat. Hey, send me. I don't have your email, Drew. Put your email in, man. Then I'm gonna put it in the link and I'm gonna send it to you. There you go. All About Boxing 1000. All right, hold on one second. I hope you have a mic connected. Hopefully this will work, man. Oh, there's Curtis. You there, Curtis?
Can you hear me?
Let me turn this one. Oh, I can turn this volume up. Curtis.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah, I can now. I gotta. Yeah, let me turn down this. All right. Yeah. I can. Yeah, that's what's up. All right. This StreamYard thing is working. I gotta pay a little money to get rid of that little duck in the upper corner, but I'll be doing that because I can't be having that duck up in the corner. This ain't this. All right, let me get Drew Titan in here, and I think I got to add everybody to the stream. This is crazy. I got to actually add everybody to the stream individually. So. Like I said, there's going to be a couple bugs in this. Okay. Kurt.
Yes, sir.
What did you think about them fights last night, man? What do you think about your boy Marcus Brown? Ain't he from New Jersey? Curtis, you there? Did I lose Curtis? I think I lost Curtis. Might have lost Curtis. Wow, okay. Kurt just dropped off. Yeah, just lost Curtis. All right. Hey, I'm sending you Drew Titan. There you go. Anyway, man, so let's get into this. I sent Curtis Anderson. I'll send you another. That link should still be good for Curtis Anderson, so hopefully he can get back on. But yeah, Corey Yellowman Jackson, what's going on, man? Yeah, it's gonna be funny because if you guys don't know, the YouTube got rid of Google Hangouts, which is how we do the what's going on, E Wood, how we do the group chats. So I'm using this new thing called Stream App. So it's not going to be exactly like each other. Pascal looked like he learned from those Hopkins losses. Yeah, you know what it looks like too? It looks like Marcus Brown ain't got no chin. That's what it looks like to me. Look like Marcus Brown is suffering from lack of chin. Glass chinitis is what it looks like. Because every time he got hit, he went down. Every time he got touched, he got dropped. What's going on, Crush the Legend? We chilling, man, doing this OG boxing talk, trying to figure out how to make this work a little better. If this stream doesn't work, during the week, I'm gonna give another couple streams a try, see how we can work it out. I'm in the house. Don Grant, what's going on, man? Yeah, dude was all over the place. He didn't look very good at, man. And Crush the Legends, much love in that Crush the Legend. Oh yeah, man. Brian Oil said for now it's time for Stevens to stop boxing and become a bodybuilder. Yeah, man. He still got that. He's got that. He still got that Gennady Golovkin dented his dome, and he dropped down the weight. Once they said he dropped down the weight, I was like, oh, this is gonna be trouble. This is gonna be trouble. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of dropping down the weight. Okay, Kurt, cool. Add to the stream. Add to the stream. I got to add you guys to the stream too. You guys just don't pop on the screen. So that's why it took me a second to see that. All right, so we back. Curtis Anderson in the building. What's good, man?
Hey, Fanon, what's going on with you?
Man, life is lovely, man. I watched that dude from the New York, New Jersey area get knocked out last night. What you think about Marcus Brown? No, I think he's from New York, but I'm trying to put him on New Jersey too.
you know, I'm gonna tell you this about Marcus Brown. You know, me and Ack used to go back and forth, Ack Reacher. Marcus Brown is the type of fighter that looks the part, acts the part, but he ain't the part. He looks like a Mercedes, but he's a RAV4. And he makes a lot of mistakes. He's supposed to be better than what he is. He makes a lot of fundamental mistakes. Every time he got knocked down, he dropped his hands. He was open. He couldn't master distance. You know, that's why Pascal won that fight on experience. You know, every time Marcus Brown got close, you know, Pascal throws his hooks in a funny angle, you know, and they landed. You know, Marcus Brown is a decent fighter, but I was never big on Marcus Brown. I thought he lost to a guy named Hot Rod 3 or 4 years ago. I thought he lost. Them Eastern European champions would tear him to pieces, man. You know, and plus Marcus Brown has a lot of problems out the ring that people don't know, man. He's always in trouble. But I'm surprised that Pascal has some gas left in the tank, and he's the interim champion. Believe that? The old man came through last night.
Yes, he did. Drew Titan, what you think about your cousin Marcus Brown? You're New York. Hey, you're New York. Wait, hey, where's he from? The Brooklyn or Bronx? Where is he? Which one is he from?
I believe it's from BK. I believe it's from BK, man.
But you from the Bronx, right?
I'm from the Bronx, so you know BK.
Yeah, you know you from the Bronx, dog. Don't be trying to shove him off. Don't try to shove that boy off into some, you know, into another borough.
Nah, BK and BX.
Mitch Green from the Bronx, dog.
Man, listen. That was bad. That was bad, man. That was bad. But let me step over here for a second. Oh boy, big shout out to Curtis Stevens, right quick. I met the brother a bunch of times. I know people that know him personally, and man, he just need to hang it up. But yeah, Marcus Brown, yeah, that was bad. That was bad, man. That was bad. That was bad. I'm speechless. But we New York got to hold that L last night, man. We got to hold that. We got to hold it and hug it and like it because it happened. Oh well.
Man, it was tough, man. Konaki ain't from New York, is he?
Yeah, he is. Brooklyn.
All right, you got you one. the Polish kid standing you up. This Polish kid standing you up. I gotta call QKC, man.
Yeah, that cat came in there looking like Nosferatu, a chubby Nosferatu.
Yeah, man. But, Go ahead.
No, but you know, I watched that fight. You know, it's you know, he's fan friendly. But you know, you watch these fights now, and you can't help but to look at it and say, "Wow!" You know, you're looking at it and you're comparing him to of course, the other heavyweights that he should be competing against, and Kownacki is exactly who Areola was about 9 years ago, about 10 years ago in the division. And he's fun to watch. He's exciting. He's a local dude out here. But, you know, once he gets in the ring with Wilder, he's going to get head knocked into the fifth row. And this is also why I think prior to the loss, AJ was scheming on him because he's food, man. That kid is food.
Yeah, man. Hey, what do you think about Konaki? Hey, shout out to B&B Boxing, man. Salute to you, man. It's good to see you. Good to see you back, man. What was your takes on Konaki? Hey, what's good, man? You good for the show? Or you nothing? I sent you. Are you available?
Curtis, you there?
Hey, I'm here talking to KQKC on the phone, man. I'm gonna be right there for a second. Let me throw the next question, man. Yeah, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you later, KQ. Yeah, all right, man. Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, man. Because KQKC, is usually on the show, usually good to go. Salute Left Hook Larry. All right, man. So let's talk about something, man. Tyson Fury Otto Wallin. Drew, because I think my man Kurt just dropped off again, man. He must have a problem with his mic. Man, that's how you think about that is a hell of a fight, ain't it?
You know what? Otto Wallin is people don't know, but he's one of the best kept secrets in the heavyweight division. I mean, the guy's better than Ali, Joe Frazier. We just never seen him. This guy is he's a power puncher. He's light on his feet. I heard he's a Navy SEAL, and he has 52 confirmed kills, and that's not even an actual combat. That's just fucking around in a parking lot. I mean, Otto Wallin is he's a special fighter, and we're gonna see greatness. And Tyson Fury's really taking a risk with this guy, although we've never heard of him.
Now, hey man, I gotta tell you, Drew, I heard of Otto Wallin. I did. All no jokes aside. I made this video about the WBO rankings and how they were absolutely trash in those rankings. Otto Wallin has been sitting ready to be fed to somebody for a couple years in those rankings, man. I watched this dude fight, and he is garbage. When I'm telling you this dude is garbage, man, I'm telling you this dude is garbage. He made like watching the video, like I watched the tape of Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz. And then I watched, and this fight I watched, before I wanted to judge him, I wanted to see him. Dude, Otto Wallin makes Tom Schwartz look like Klitschko. This dude is slow. This dude is slow, no head movement, no punching power, nothing. I mean, nothing. He looks like just like a vanilla ice. He built like a vanilla icicle. Like, dude, he's seriously, man. How in the world these dudes and how in the world these guys ever believe that Bob Arum was serious about making fights, man?
Well, he's not serious, but can we give Tyson Fury props for keeping his word? Didn't he say that he wanted 2 warm-up fights before he rematched Wilder?
That's not a warm-up fight, though.
It's not, because how do these guys get him prepared for Wilder? They don't.
It's a southpaw. The dude's a southpaw.
Exactly. This is what I heard.
It's a St. Cruz and says Otto Wallin's another cherry. Dude is an absolute positively cherry, man.
How many fights does Fury have under a top rank?
This will be his second.
How many does he has contractually? I mean,
I don't know. He lied about the contract. He said this is $100 million.
He lied. He said 80 million.
Huh?
And then he sure did. He said he lied about 80 million. And
sorry, dude. Yeah, cake. Hey, sorry, man. My man said he's backstage. I gotta keep my eyes on this other page. How can I do this? All right, every time. So what's Curtis back? Sorry, Curtis, because I can't. Thanks for the email. Okay. And D Style Boxing in the building. Much love in that super chat. Go ahead with what you were saying, Drew.
Yeah, I don't know he lied about the money he made, and he also I don't know how many fights he has contractually, but I'm assuming that he has to fulfill a certain amount of fights before he starts like saying, "Oh yeah, Wilder, we're ready for Wilder now." And meanwhile, it'll probably be like 7 fights in, and the Bob father has to see a return on his investment. Then he'll be calling out Wilder. But what I hope is that in the meantime, Wilder go ahead and defeats Ortiz, and then moves on to Cinco de Mayo with Ruiz. And at that point, honestly, I don't care if he rides off into the sunset and calls it a career and just sticks Fury. I don't think Fury deserves a fight with Wilder because we gave Fury all this credit in the world, and then he turned around and did what he did. And I really don't care if he sticks Fury and says, "You know what, the hell with you. You don't deserve it." Beat Ortiz, beat Ruiz, ride off into the sunset. You don't have to worry about Dillian White. I really don't care about AJ. Now the shoe's on the other foot. AJ don't deserve a payday. Fury don't deserve a payday. So we're good.
Yeah, no doubt, man. MP4 Vids in the building, man. Much love in that super chat. He said it's upset of the year. You never know the mindset of your opponent coming into the fight. Man, this dude is, man, I know you ain't. Yeah, it could be. If he lost, it would definitely be. If he lost, it would definitely be to Otto Wallin. It would definitely be upset of the year. But upset of the for real, it might. If Otto Wallin beat Jarrell Big Baby Miller, it'd be upset of the year. That dude is garbage, man. Like just garbage, complete and utter garbage. I mean, garbage. The name was one thing because I had already heard of Otto Wallin. I think I'm one of the rare people that I heard. I got to make sure that my man keep dropping out, but I'll go. But there you go, Curtis. Oh, Kurt, add you to the stream. I checked for you, Curtis.
Thanks, man. People call me during the stream and knock me off. I hate when people call me when I'm doing the show.
Hey, I'm my bad, man. But go ahead and run with it, dude. Run with Otto Wallin just in case you get jumped off.
Oh, man. Otto Wallin, man. Oh, my God. Might as well be Otto Premature. Tyson Fury is a scam artist, man. And I like Tyson Fury. He did well against Wilder. But Fanon and Drew and chat, I really feel that knockdown in the 12th round not only changed him physically, but it changed him mentally because he's not sure. So he's fighting people like Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin, and I don't see how he's going to get away with it, but he will because he's Tyson Fury. You know, he got a good contract, even though, like you said, for now, he lied about the contract. So I don't know how many fights he's in, you know, but I don't know if he ever is going to get in the ring with Wilder. I'll be surprised if the rematch happens. It's a huge rematch. You know, we know about Wilder, you know, taking on Sharks, you know, as Ortiz, you know, a very dangerous fight. But as for Tyson Fury, you know, he wants easy touches. It's only going to hurt him if he does get in the ring with Wilder. But Wallin is terrible. I've seen him fight before, man. Just a big doof. You know, hey, hey, if I can have easy fights and get millions of dollars, I'll do the same. But Fury is scamming everybody, man.
No doubt. Hey, Curtis, D-Style Boxing. And by the way, man, D-Style, we got to get you, even though you look like you're 22, man, we got to get you on the show one of these weeks, man. If you guys are not subscribed to D-Style Boxing, please subscribe to D-Style Boxing. D-Style Boxing, what is that? D-Style Boxing is absolutely, man, he's doing a lot of these, just go check his page out, man. He's doing a lot of polls. He's doing a lot of really good, having a lot of really good conversations about fighters, past fighters, and, you know, dedicating weeks to fighters. Definitely a unique take to what's going on in boxing, man. And also definitely one of the best cats to cover the Mexican fighters that there is. So, you know, just take a second, man. Subscribe to D-Style Boxing. Support D-Style Boxing in his polls and all that, man. He's really, man. Cats like him, Curtis, Scrapbook Boxing, man. These guys are real blessings to the sport of boxing, man. It seems like after Andy Ruiz sparked Anthony Joshua, we got D-Style feeling good. So he's doing all kind of work, man. Please Subscribe to D Style Boxing and let them see that support, man. What's going on, man? Johnny said, "For none, peace, black man. Peace to you as well, my man. How are you?" Let me see. Oh, what was I going to say, man? I want to make sure that I go back because I saw something. And if you guys got specific questions this morning, man, go ahead and let questions fly. The Diesel said Fury is robbing the bank. Fury only has fought 2 live bodies in his full career. He's fought 3 live bodies. He fought Derek Chisora twice. That's why I don't think he want to do no more rematches. But man, I agree with you, Curtis. I don't know if that's. I personally, I don't want to see it. I don't think that. I think Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna bite something that somebody else said. I think it was. It might have been on 78 Sports TV's live. Tyson Fury needs to fight somebody where he deserves to get a shot at the title. Because fighting a shot at Otto Wallin, Tom Schwartz, Sefi Safiri, and Francisco Pineda. Those are 4 of the 5 fights and a draw against Deontay Wilder. But other than the Deontay Wilder, those 4 fights, 4 out of 5 fights, man, that is the worst level of competition of any of the major championships. He's making Dillian White like a damn world beater by fighting with his cheating ass. Oscar Rivas and Robert Helenius and Lucas. I mean, Lucas Brown is better than any of those guys. I don't think. And people talk about Christian Hamer. Christian Hamer. I think Otto Wallin is a dude that ducked. I think Otto Wallin ducked Christian Hamer. So I don't think he deserves the shot at the title until he fights. He should have to fight somebody. Just, hey, man, let me get up into the ring and stick my hands behind my back and have pray I don't get knocked out so Malignaggi can give me the fight. That don't fly with me, man.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't fly with any fan, but unless you hate Wilder to the extreme, to the point where you're just replacing AJ with Fury and then replacing Fury with whoever's looking good for the flavor of the month. This doesn't make sense. I asked this question on Facebook. I said, if you can justify Otto Wilder, you need to slit your wrists with a butter knife. This is crazy. This is crazy that he's even going to go ahead and get away with this. And then when his views are 5,000 and below, his fans are going to say that we're lying again. They're going to say that we're lying again. But no one's infatuated and fascinated with Fury over here. No one cares. 5,000 views, he's going to do 3,000 this time. He can't sell nothing over here. No one knows him over here. No one cares about him over here. He tried to rob the bank, and it's not even working, man. He's still driving in the getaway car and the police behind him. And he's going to get found out soon. He's not that popular over here where he can fight a bunch of bums and get a bunch of views and sell a bunch of seats. No one cares. All right? All roads lead to Wilder. The only way he does good numbers is if he has the right dance partner. The correct dance partner is Deontay Wilder. I asked these fools, I make the statement. You can no longer rip Wilder's resume. You can no longer do it because that was another argument that people were living and dying off. Oh, resume, he ain't fighting nobody. So my question was, since Stavern, how much light work has he had? Since Stavern. Look at the resume. All right. And then look at Tyson Fury. Since Klitschko, what has he done? Outside of hamburgers and a Coke bench. When he got back in the ring, what has he done? Okay, you got Derek Chisora in there, and who else? Look at the resume. So stop talking about resume. So what we can't talk about money, we can't talk about Instagram fans, we can't talk about resume. So what are they left to talk about? Nothing. They can't talk about anything now. They can't talk about anything. This is just absurd. And Tyson Fury is a letdown. He's a hype job. And that 12th round scared not only Tyson Fury, but it scared his entire camp and bloodline. His family don't want him in the ring with Deontay Wilder. That 12th round scared the crap out of everybody in the UK and Ireland. His dead ancestors, it scared them. Because there's no way that Deontay Wilder says, all right, let's do it again. And this man, after the fight, first he says, let's do it again. Then he says he needs 2 warm-up. Then he says, oh, he's ducking him. The guy is all over the place, man. I don't respect the guy. And I hope Wilder doesn't fight him, just off a general principle now. Fury's garbage. He's washed. It's a fraud.
Hey, let me make a statement before I pass a question to Curtis Anderson. Hey, Black Wall Street says Fury got the lineal mega. I think you're saying the lineal belt. Final boss belt. Everybody wants it. Let me explain something to you. And I've done significant research on this. Tyson Fury is not the lineal champion. Tyson Fury is the former ring champion. The ring belt is supposed to approximate the lineal championship. When Tyson Fury fought Ruslan Shagayev, that was the first time since Lennox Lewis retired that Ring Magazine put their belt on the line. When Vladimir Klitschko beat Ruslan Shagayev, he became the ring champion. That, my friend, is not the lineal champion. But people started often refer to the Ring Magazine belt as the lineal championship, and that's not the case. So when Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, he became the ring champion. He had the ring belt. Ring stripped him of that belt for some odd reason when he came out of his issues that he had. Tyson Fury is not the lineal champion. There is no direct connection between him and John L. Sullivan, and there's no connection between him, more specifically, between him and Lennox Lewis. I've maintained, and I think that I have a better argument than everybody than this side of it, because Lennox Lewis held 2 belts when he retired. If you say that the lineal championship has to continue, why would it go over to Ruslan Shagayev and Vladimir Klitschko 5 years after Lennox Lewis retired? When Lennox Lewis retired, Corey Sanders beat Vladimir Klitschko for his WBO title. The fight after that, Vitaly Klitschko beat Corey Sanders, who beat Vladimir Klitschko. And he beat him. Vitaly Klitschko beat him to win the belt that Lennox Lewis held. If there was anybody that had any type of connection or validity to the lineal championship after Lennox Lewis, it was Vitaly Klitschko, not Vladimir Klitschko. And Vitaly Klitschko had the WBC belt, which when he retired was won by Bermane Stiverne when he beat Chris Arreola. And after that, Bermane Stiverne lost to Deontay Wilder. There is a literal connection between Deontay Wilder and Lennox Lewis. There is no connection between Vladimir Klitschko and Lennox Lewis. The only reason people say that Vladimir Klitschko was the lineal champion was because under the Ring Magazine rules, when the number one and number 2 heavyweights, as they are ranked by Oscar De La Hoya, can fight and become the Ring Magazine title holder. That's why they're saying that Tyson Fury is the lineal champion, because they're confusing the ring belt with the lineal title. He's not the lineal champion. They're using that crap as a marketing ploy. But there's a better argument for the lineal champion being Deontay Wilder than Lennox. And Tyson Fury retired. He got retired. Anyway, it is what it is. But don't come with that lineal crap, because it's not true. It is weak an argument for somebody being the lineal champion than I've seen. Because Lennox Lewis at least unified all the belts. When Lennox Lewis unified all the belts, when he beat Mike Tyson, he beat Evander Holyfield, there was no doubt that he was a lineal champion because of something he did in the ring. The only reason people are saying that Tyson Fury is lineal because he beat Vladimir Klitschko, but Vladimir Klitschko only got that belt only is being called the lineal champion because he has the ring belt. We know that the ring belt is not the lineal belt if you really pay attention to boxing, in the history of boxing. Sorry, stop it. That is something that is an imaginary title. That's his title is imaginary because it's the ring. Definitely not lineal. But anyway, you know, we can go all day with that. He said, I agree. If you did, you were probably being tongue in cheek then, Black Wall Street. But seriously, man, the thing irritates me, man, because, Vladimir Klitschko was never the lineal champion. He was the ring champion. And go look. And because it was like, why would he become that? It was because the number, and people will tell you, it's because the number 1 and number 2 heavyweights fought. And that made him be the lineal. Go look at Ring Magazine and see what was on the line when Klitschko fought Shagayev. The Ring Magazine was on the Ring Magazine belt was on the line. And they were the Ring Magazine number 1 and number 2 heavyweight. Now, I wish people would understand that. D-Style Fury's next opponent has experience playing darts in stadiums. He hits the bullseye under pressure in them stadiums. Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, man, let's switch this situation over here. I'm going to throw this to my man, Curtis Anderson. Man, what do you think about the IBF stripping Canelo?
I want to say this. You know,
say whatever you want, dog, even if it's not on that subject.
Once you become a big name, Canelo doesn't really care about the belts. IBF doesn't play that. And I live 10 minutes away from the IBF headquarters in Springfield, New Jersey. I live literally 10 minutes away. You know, when you don't defend, they will strip. I will say that about the IBF, American-based, of course, in New Jersey. I'm glad they sent the message to Canelo, you know, because the IBF saying we don't care who you are. If you don't defend the title, you're going to get stripped. We don't care how big you are. We don't care how much clout you carry. And for what I understand, Canelo, you know, was talking about Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. So you kind of want to look at that too. You know, he wasn't happy the things that Oscar De La Hoya was saying. You know, Canelo, I hear, is in negotiations with Andrade. You know, I'm not sure. That's all I heard. But I'm just glad that they stripped them to send a message, a clear and present danger message saying, you know, hey, you know, you're not going to honor, you know, our rules. So we're going to take the belt away from you. And I'm glad they did, you know. So they're telling the fans, they're telling no matter who it is, we're going to strip you. And that's what they did. And you know what, Fernand, I'm glad. It's showing integrity to that sanctioning body. So I'm glad they did it. Excellent breakdown in heavyweight lineal and ring, by the way.
Oh, hey, hold on, man. Let me ring the gong for myself. I've been blessed. You know I was trying to show off for Curtis. I got the historian on the channel. Hey, man. Oh, what's your take on it, man? I forgot where I was going to go. So, hey, Curtis, Drew, what's your take on it, man?
Well, I love it. But here's my question. Really think about it. This is a question I asked a couple of weeks ago. What if all the relevant champions just dropped their straps and said, screw the sanctions? You know, the fans, they come to see me. They don't give a damn about any of these belts. I mean, Canelo's saying that he doesn't like how this was handled, but is he going to lose any fans for getting stripped of these titles? I mean, really think about it. Is this going to stop his DAZN money? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he says he's annoyed by it. I mean, good move by the IBF. You know, I respect that. You know, they got to crack that whip. But is that going to stop him from selling any seats? Because it's very clear that it's about the millions of dollars that these guys are making. And Canelo made it very clear he doesn't care about these straps. Well, it's kind of like a contradiction because he's mad. I think he's more mad at the situation than the strap. I think he's more mad that Oscar didn't relay this. And, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, I was reading that Ryan Garcia had some sort of beef with Oscar also. So there's something going on in there. There's
You
something
know
going
what's
on
going
in there.
on in there, man.
Yeah,
You know
I
what's
call
going
it.
on.
I
This is
call it.
going.
I
This
call
is
it
going.
John Lennon.
A razor blade, and something that looks like baby powder is going on, dog.
I
That's
call
what's
it.
going on. He ain't pay attention. I believe.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Curtis. I mean, sorry. Go ahead, Drew. I'll finish when you're done, man. I
No,
apologize.
I call it. I call it John Lennon, aka instant karma. You know, everything is coming full circle towards Golden Boy. You know, and I don't want to flip the topic of the show, but for those that have been following what's been happening over the last 3 years, you know, I really it's hard to take it out, not to take it out on their fighters, but most people know why I don't mess with Golden Boy.
The
They know
spatula.
why. Yeah, spatula and how they handle this particular situation.
Oh,
You know,
speak on it, man. Hey, dog, just don't no need to code speak. Go ahead. If you feel like if it ain't super duper X rated, let it out. We good.
well, you know, the emails.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
can speak on emails. Go ahead.
yeah, well, we never got a specific answer about those emails. You know, it was so easy to get out of that situation. It was so easy. All Oscar had to do was say that was unfortunate, and you know, that's not what we're about, and those guys don't work with us. Sorry anyway. Next topic. And I'd have been cool with that, you know. But Mr. Pro Black, you know, Bernard Hopkins, you know, Mr. I'll never let a white boy beat me. You know, let me tell you how to. Oh man, see, I don't want to go off on this, but let me tell you how the universe works. You get what you put out, good or bad. You get what you put out, good or bad. You go to school, you bust your ass, you know, you work hard, and you get your degree. That's how it works. But you go to school, you smoke weed, you party all day, you flunk out. You get what you put out. All right, Bernard Hopkins, Mr. Pro Black Man. You know, I bought his pay-per-view. I went to the Tito Trinidad fight, you know, and I supported this guy. You know, I cringed when he told Joe Calzaghe, "I'll never let a white boy beat me." But I supported the brother, and although he knocked Calzaghe down, he lost the fight. You know, whatever. You know, the guy had a hard way to go. The guy's a Hall of Famer, but he remained dead silent on this, and that bothered me. That bothered me. And how did his career end? He let a white boy from Long Island up here beat him. He knocked his ass out the ring, and that was the end of B-Hop. Okay? You get what you put out. You get what you put out, B-Hop. I'm not taking away his Hall of Fame career. I'm not taking away any of that. But you were supposed to say something, B-Hop. You were supposed to say something. You know, he was silent on that. All right? Oscar De La Hoya, you know, running around in pantyhose and spatulas on his ass and all kinds of crazy stuff. And he couldn't even denounce that. So that spoke volumes for me. And, you know, Fred goes in there and asks a question, and he gets escorted out of the damn. You remember that? He got put out of the conference. You know, and for asking a question, man. Are you serious? So, you know, now fast forward to current times, they're all fighting amongst each other with their main meal ticket. And I think it's beautiful. I'm just watching the melee. I'm just watching the rats in the cage. All he has is Canelo, and he's building this Ryan Garcia kid. Whom, by the way, they need to keep him away from Tank, because Tank will destroy that pretty boy. But nevertheless, I don't like how they handle it. I'm glad the IBF showed him who's boss. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to matter, because Canelo already has a set fan base. He already has a set fan base. He already doesn't care about straps. He could say he doesn't like what the IBF did, but I don't think it's going to matter. And again, this is a question I asked a couple of weeks ago. What if the relevant champions just dumped their titles? I mean, what if Deontay Wilder just said, you know, I don't want to pay these sanction fees for WBC. I get rid of it, throw it in the garbage. Are we going to stop watching them fight? I'm not. I mean, really think about it, you know. So, you know, Canelo, I'm glad they stripped him, but I don't think he really cares like he's putting out.
I want to say something, Fanana.
Go ahead.
I want to say something real quick about the character of Oscar De La Hoya, a person that's close to me. You know, his name is Derek Graham. He lives in Newark. He's the boxing coordinator in Newark. I work with him. He knows Oscar very well because he used to spar with Oscar at Big Bear, you know, years ago when Oscar was coming up. And we talked about Oscar, you know, but this is on me. I knew Oscar was funny when he said, Oscar De La Hoya lost his wallet. And somebody brought his wallet back and set it on his porch. And he said, see, my people are not thieves. They brought my wallet back to me. That's when I start looking at Oscar. This was years ago. And then a second incident, and people forget this. He said black fighters couldn't take it to the body. And guess what happened? Karma. He gets knocked out by a black fighter to the body.
Ooh.
So people, stories. That's not hearsay. I remember when he said it. Black fighters cannot take it to the body, and he got knocked out by Bernard Hopkins. So Oscar always been phony. Him and remember Shane used to be a part of Golden Boy where Shane was smart and he walked away. Bernard didn't. Bernard stayed. You know, and he puts on that phony smile. So I could say a lot about Oscar De La Hoya. And Canelo doesn't need De La Hoya because once you become popular, I can never understand why fighters like Manny Pacquiao and Canelo, who are so popular, doesn't need promoters to cut out the middleman. But that's another story for another day. But that's just the phoniness of Oscar De La Hoya.
I'll tell you my thought on why that happens is why fighters or why people who are getting paid a lot of money in a job that they have don't leave to another job they could pay them a lot more money, is that they're comfortable. And not everybody is willing to take the chance. You know, not somebody, if they're like, man, I'm getting all this money, and if I leave, I could get more. That's that little bit of risk that there is associated with it. And then you have a lot of people around you who are telling you to stay, and you wind up dealing with the same person over and over. Terrence Crawford is an example of that. Because that's going to be the next. I actually got Marcus Brown exposed, Canelo and Wallin. But let me go, because the Terrence Crawford thing is all that stuff that Terrence Crawford talked was the next thing. Not stuff. I like Terrence Crawford, man, but man, I don't understand how you cats understand how some people don't see what's going on with Terrence Crawford in Top Rank. That dude is being absolutely third shelf. He's a third tier fighter. He's the third tier fighter on his own network. He's got ESPN, his own network, putting him as the number 3 welterweight. You've got his own promoter saying that Vasily Lomachenko is the best fighter since a young Ali, because he had changed it. He said since Ali first, then he said a young Ali. So now you're talking about like 1967. So this dude is Vasily Lomachenko is the best fighter in the last 52 years? Is that what Bob Arum with a straight face says Vasily Lomachenko is the greatest fighter in the last 52 years? Right? That's Mayweather. That's De La Hoya. That's Terrence Crawford. That's everybody. You know, that's Mike Tyson. That's Lennox Lewis. That's Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Trinidad, Julio Cesar Chavez. What's that little dude's name, man, passed away undefeated? Yeah, that's Whitaker. That's what's the little Mexican dude's name, man, that fought Gomez?
I'm talking about Salvador Sanchez.
Salvador Sanchez. Man, Salvador Sanchez could fight, dog. That one was a great fight. But that's what he says about Vasily Lomachenko. Terrence Crawford ain't never been dropped, ain't never lost, and he's unified divisions, right? He's unified weight classes. But Bob Arum forced Bob Arum. I'll watch this. Bob Arum had Terrence Crawford have to take $150,000 out of his pocket to be able to unify. Remember that? Let's see if Bob Arum charges Vasily Lomachenko $150,000 to unify. But yet, this dude ain't going nowhere because he got no disrespect to Bomac, but Bomac was on when he was on Trill Boxing Talk. He said it. He was like, man, this is guaranteed money. This is life-changing money. We signed this deal. It's it. All we got to do is fight. And we got Lomachenko. Sorry about that. You got that right. Minus the O. Lomachenko. You know, he signs this deal. He's paid for the rest of his life. As long as he ain't spending money crazy. And I don't see Bud looking like he's spending money like he's nuts. Right? I don't see the $2 million worth of gold and all diamonds on him and all that. I don't see that anyway. I think he got a little pendant or something like that. So Bud probably cheap. So if Bud is cheap, that's another reason why he might not leave. Because he's cheap. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna make this money, make it consistently. But don't put that on everybody else though. That's on Bud. John,
you know what?
Go ahead, man.
But you know what? That's I'll never ever fault an athlete for securing their wallet. I'm not gonna do that. What I will say is though, they had to know what comes with that. They had to know. I don't know. They never disclosed the actual dollar amount, but he made it clear. I remember that on Trail. He made it clear that was life-changing money.
$3 million a fight. It was like 3.3, 3.5 million a fight.
Well, that's life-changing money for 95% of most Americans.
Gee, 99.999% of all Americans.
That's right. But he had to know what comes with that. This is off the heels of 5 or 6 years of Floyd versus Manning. All right, everyone. The major question for everyone else was like, Manning's become the rock star. Why the hell would he re-sign with Aaron when he could clearly go do things on his own right now? And no one understood that. Well, we know how Bob Arum gets down. He can't have Bud Promotions under the banner of Arum. He can't do that. So why wouldn't you go with the PBC where the competition is? You secure your bag, but there's no one under that banner that you could say that's legit, because all the competition's on the other side of the street. It's actually deeper than Errol Spence, man. Come on now, bud. You know what this is now. People are talking about they like to see him go back down to 140 or drag some guys from 140 up. Look, this is just delaying what we really want to see. But Bud had to know what came with securing your future. You had to know that. You had to know that. So with that being said, you got to deal with the ridicule, man. We don't hate Bud. We're just saying, yo, damn, why'd you do that? And he's gonna tell he's not gonna tell. He told us, yo, he did it because he secured his family's future. Okay, we'll deal with the ridicule, because now, thanks to that move, we're not gonna get you versus Errol. Thank you. I'm not hearing this being Errol's fault. Bud knew where the competition was, but he chose to secure his bag. So fine, secure your bag, brother. Secure your bag. But now we gotta wait on what we want to see. Thanks.
Hey man, no doubt about it, man. Hey, but I got corrected in the comment section by Debo4735. He said not cheap, frugal. Hey man, yes, and I think that is a outstanding quality. I saw the house he lived in, just off what do you call it? One of those. I think it was the last. The 24/7 type of shows, the shoulder programming. They had him walking his dogs and stuff outside of his house. Though that was a house that looked like it's in Omaha, Nebraska. That house I doubt that house was the $300,000 house. So in Omaha, because you could have in Omaha $300,000 house, you're gonna have some shit that's sprawling. It should look like a nice suburban home. It's not like the dude is living in a mansion. Like what? Hey man, somebody better check. Andy Ruiz, because Andy Ruiz got some big ass mansion you got to open gate to get to. I'm like, dog, how many fights you think you're gonna get, man? That you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll tell you,
first one.
He get that Cinco de Mayo fight with Wilder if everything works out how we wanted to. That might be his last fight, and he'll be cool with that.
Hey, he needs to. Hey, man, we can get on that too. If I'm him, man, seriously, them dudes got to do something major to get me to fight. Anthony Joshua. Something made. That's why they ain't announced that fight.
That's what I'm saying.
That dude is worth, man. If Andy Ruiz if he could beat Anthony Joshua in that rematch, and he's free and clear to go, and he fights Deontay Wilder, dude, that shit is so huge. And here's a hint to how huge it is. I saw this morning on Twitter. You know that Deontay Wilder, these people are giving up the ghost right now. Because on Twitter this morning, there was something was put out by Kevin Iole. You know who Kevin Iole is, right? From from Yahoo Sports. This dude, Kevin Iole is, just to let you know, Kevin Iole is one of the biggest PBC hating media dudes there are. Second only by Steve Kim. But honestly, Steve Kim's just on a whole nother level. It's like Al Heyman must have slept with his daughter or something. I don't get that. But this is what he had to say about Deontay Wilder. He said, people talk often about who's the biggest star. Is this Ticket? No, this ain't Ticket. What? People talk often about who's the biggest star in boxing. Canelo, Pacquiao, etc. Who the fuck says Pacquiao is the biggest star in boxing? Here's a vote for Bronze Bomber, who is entertaining as hell in the ring, has a great personality on the broadcast, and is gold with the media. Kevin Iole says this about Deontay Wilder. Now, go ahead and make y'all videos about it. I know how some of y'all channels operate. Go make the video. But, dog, how is that? He said, plus, he loves what he's doing in his shows, and it makes it fun to listen to him. Yeah, Kevin Iole. He's also the king of boxing. He's also the king of boxing. And this, did you see the promo that Fox did with him? How they with fighters, and they had.
I like that.
You saw it?
Yeah, I like that. I like that commercial.
Man, that was dope, man. Which brings that, man, that was crazy. So they're starting to see it, man. You got phony ass Tyson Fury, who, even if they're not going to talk bad about Tyson Fury for fighting who they're fighting, they cannot say that that's a decent fight. You can't defend that fight. Otto Wallin, this is the big dude who beat Deontay Wilder, and he just flushed all his momentum down the toilet on purpose so he didn't get knocked out. You got Anthony Joshua, who they were putting all that stuff on. He gets knocked out by Andy Ruiz. You had another dude in Dillian White. Dillian White pops dirty. Not only does he pop dirty, is involved in the biggest scandal in boxing that I can remember. I don't ever I've seen a lot of scandals, the Margarito scandal, and Curtis Anderson. I asked you guys about this too. Is there been a bigger scandal, a more complete scandal than testing positive for D-ball, being allowed to fight despite the fact that you tested positive for a blatant illegal, patently illegal steroid, getting in the fight with, fighting with gloves that were not approved, having a one-sided ref, and unusually wide scorecards. 5 things all in the same fight. Can you remember anything that compares to that? Let me throw that first one to Curtis.
The only thing I can remember on that level, it was a big story in 1983. It was a fighter named Louis Resto, where they took they tampered with the gloves, Panama Lewis, and he was fighting a guy by the name of Billy Collins that was in New York, Madison Square Garden. That was a huge story, but not on this level. Not on this level. And the black bottle, but people forget Leon Spinks used to have a brown bottle. So that, the Pryor, Naguel, the bottle, and Louis Resto taking a pattern out the gloves, that was a big story because Billy Collins unfortunately lost his life after he lost the fight with impaired vision. He died in a car crash. That was a huge story. But this one right here takes the cake. So the only story I can compare this one to was the Resto and Collins.
Yeah,
and that just has that in it. The gloves, because I don't think he even took. I don't know whether they were allowed to inspect the gloves after the fight. but like it would have mattered. But that has the same aspect of it. When you go into when you agree to the pair of gloves that are going to be you're going to be able to fight, and either this is your one pair, that's your extra pair. You agree to it, but then the next day you come in with a third pair of gloves, and the other team is not allowed to inspect them. That's roughly the same thing, except for you just don't know that the padding was removed. But they probably burned the gloves. What's your thoughts on that, Drew?
Yeah, well, Kurt, that he nail on the head. Those are the only two things I can think of in my lifetime, at least. Resto is right here in the Bronx at the Morris Park Gym. He lives upstairs. I see him often. He still looks the same, man, and that's unfortunate because he was up and coming, and Panama Lewis took those patterns out of his gloves, and he claims he didn't know he did it. I don't know how. That's kind of hard to swallow, but the kid went from 100 to 0 after that fight. It was over for him. He never forgave Lewis for that. And the other thing I can think of, I mean, I was a kid, but I remember that being the topic of discussion with the infamous black bottle. I remember watching the news and they're saying, "Yo, look, he's clearly in the corner telling the corner, no, don't give me that one. Give me the one that I mixed. The one that I mixed." You remember that, Kurt?
Oh, absolutely. It was yesterday.
That's the same trainer.
Yeah, that's right. No, not that one. The one that I mixed, and I remember them being on the news saying, "Yo, look, we want to know what he was giving him. You don't mix water with water." And he lied and said, "No, it was just water." You said, "You don't mix water with water. What are you talking about?" The rumor was he mixed smelling salt in that bottle with water, but we'll never know. We know that.
Oh, you know what he did? They said what he mixed. Louis Resto came out and said what they mixed in it. It was asthma. It was asthma medicine. It was asthma medicine, man. It opens up your lungs.
Yeah, it's a steroid. That's legit a steroid. Asthma medicine is a steroid.
That increases with asthma. Just so y'all know what asthma medicine does, because I have asthma. Asthma races your heart. Asthma medicine races your heart, opens your lungs up, and allows you to take in more. Allows you to take in more oxygen. So for a guy that's tired and having a hard time bringing in extra oxygen, it gives you a boost of energy, because the oxygen is, that's what's giving you your energy, the oxygen. So that's what they did, man.
Now factor that in with how we remember Aaron Pryor, how he used to fight. The guy was a wind-up dog. You just tune him up and he go in. You want to talk about windmill? He was the original windmill.
Man, he's crazy.
That guy, and when Alexis Arroyo, who was knocking over trees at his division, when he hit him and his head flew back and the top of his head touched the top of his spine and nothing happened, I remember my dad jumping up in the living room saying, "He ain't fall." He said, "Oh my God." He said, "Arroyo was about to lose, man." There was no way. Arroyo was knocking over trees at that division. He was a power puncher. And he ran through him, and then next thing you know, the black bottle, and people started saying, "Oh man, he was on drugs." But unfortunately, we all saw what happened in the rematch. It wasn't really much different. Arroyo just gave up. But but getting back to the question, those are the only two things I can remember. In this day and age, is far worse. What White did, this wasn't something you could slide into a steak. This is something you knowingly take. You ingest it. You eat it. You swallow it. And he knowingly took that thing and D-ball. And Hearn had 30. He said he knew 36 hours prior, and he says he had nothing to do with it, and he followed the rules. But when do you step in as a man with some sort of integrity and say, "Yo, look, I know the rules, but if this guy dies in the ring, it's on me, so I can't let this go." And that's why this guy's a piece of crap. This guy's the worst thing for boxing. Don't ever talk to me about what Al Heyman does ever again. Hearn the germ worm. Get out of here. You're done.
Hey man, there was somebody that asked me. This goes into the segment I want to talk about, man, because I've been going back and forth with these Manny Pacquiao fans. I laughing all week. So my man asked me, I think it was Fahim Satur said, okay, yeah, Fahim Satur said, what'd you think about that section, the interview that took place between Deontay Wilder and Gervonta Davis? I'll say what I think. Gervonta had a case of act right. He got a case. He looking up at that boy and was like, Lord. Dude, Gervonta Davis came up to about the middle of that dude's waist, man, and he's like, "Yeah, he was all polite and nice, and wasn't none of that. He didn't call him windmill. He didn't call him windmill. Can't fight. None of that, dog. He got real polite last night, and I think that shit was funny. But man, I wanted to say that's what I thought. I wanted to talk about this though, man. It's all this greatest of all time conversation, man. And I'm going to do it because after I get the feedback from Curtis Anderson on what you thought about it, I'm going to put a pin in and try to remember to come back to that topic. Curtis, what do you think about did you see that section?
Yes.
What's your thoughts, man?
You talk about the interview, Tank and Wilder?
Yeah. Because Wilder, he was talking all kind of crazy noise about Wilder for a while.
Yeah, to call him a windmill. He didn't say that last night. I literally thought Wilder was going to pick Tank up and put him in his back pocket like a wallet, man. I thought so. Seriously, man. I started laughing when I seen the height differential. I couldn't believe how small Tank was to Wilder. Wilder has a presence, man. Every time you look at him, he has a presence. Tank is just small as hell, so he was nice yesterday with those Elton John glasses he had on,
Rocket Man.
This guy had diamonds in his glasses. Yeah, so I enjoyed it, but you see how Tank was. He was humble, and that's not Tank. And standing next to Wilder, he was goody two shoes last night. Drew and Fanon.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Drew?
Man, I swear I got a story for everything. Tank looked like a child. He looked like a child. I remember growing up, everyone had, you growing up, you had one or two friends that went through puberty a little faster than most. And I'll never forget it, man. One of my friends, I ain't gonna say his name, he was the first one to get a beard. He got a little height on him. He got a little bass in his voice. And, we're like 11 or 12, but he was like looking like he was 16, 17, and he was dunking the basketball already and things like that at 12. And he was a tough guy, whatever, getting into fights, beating up other kids our age. But I'll never forget, one day he popped off to one of the store owners. And when that store owner approached him and said, "Little N-word, what'd you say?" Magically, all of a sudden, my buddy turned into a 12-year-old. And we took a step back and was like, uh-oh, things just got real. All summer long, he's popping off and he's fighting and he's winning these fights and in the street. And now this grown man had enough of his crap and went up to him and said, "Little N-word, what'd you say? You a little effing kid." And he turned into that little kid right before our eyes. Now he turned back to the 12-year-old. We was like, oh, he about to get beat up right now. And guess what? That grown man was shorter than him. That grown man was shorter than him. What I saw last night with Tank was something like that. All of that Twitter fingers and windmill stuff got right in front of Wilder, and Wilder ain't even break a stride. You know what? Wilder ain't break a stride because he don't respond to these guys on Twitter when they talk reckless about him. You notice that? He don't respond to them because he know he's going to see him. And they never keep that same energy. I got a picture in my phone right now from a few years ago because Wilder had a short haircut. And he got his arm around Floyd Mayweather. And they just smiled for the picture. Well, Deontay was smiling. But Floyd looked nervous. He looked nervous. And what that was, that's an alpha male kind of nervous. It's like Floyd likes to go into a place, he likes to think he owns the room. But he's a little dude. In the streets, he a little dude. That's why he walks with a lot of security and things like that. He's a little dude. But if in that same party, Wilder walks in there and it's just him and Marcellus, all the ladies gonna gravitate towards him. What's Wilder? He's 6'7". He's a tall black man. Yeah, he's a tall black man. And he don't need all that. He don't need that money to attract attention. See, Floyd, his shortcomings are displayed in how he behaves. And same thing with Tank, because Tank ain't getting any taller. It's over for him. That's his height for the rest of his life. So when he got in front of Wilder, I looked at that and I just said, man, I couldn't take a picture fast enough. But I'm sure there's 1,000,000,001 memes online by this morning, man. But that was priceless. That was priceless. I wanted so badly for Wilder to put his arm around him like a little boy, like his son, like put his whole hand over his head, palm it like a basketball. Yo, what's up, man? You did a good job last fight. That's a good, just to sun him like that. That'd have been beautiful. But that's just me being petty. But that was hilarious to see, man. That was hilarious. These guys, when they talk bad about Wilder, it's intimidation, man. It's intimidation. They secretly want to be that guy. And I'm talking about in height and stature. Never mind the money. They want they want the presence that Wilder already owns, man. That's what it is. It's called jealousy. This era we call it hating, but from our era we call it jealousy. That's what it is.
Man, look, this is why I want to talk about it. Because I'm sick of y'all. All right. I'm telling you, I'm sick of you. I'm sick of Floyd because we got somebody here. Why y'all hating on Floyd? Look, man, here's the thing. Heavyweights is not a weight class. Everybody can fight there. There ain't nothing preventing none of these little dudes from taking their ass up there. Bo wants to, you forgot my super chat, man. My bad. I missed it. I'll go back up while I'm rolling. Bo wants, oh no, I'm sorry. Damn, I'm at Key Yusuf too. Andy Ruiz said it on the Joe Rogan Experience. He wants to fight Tyson Fury next and Dillian White, but he popped dirty. Watch the video on YouTube. Will do, man. I'm going to get back to that too as well. Bo wants to salute Big Brother for 9, Drew and Kurt. You brothers help a lot of us get through the rough times with our boxing. Appreciate it. Real talk, man. No worries. And thank both of y'all for them super chats. Here's my thing, man, with this. And I'm trying to be, I'm not a really big dude. Like I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1". If I wasn't overweight, I'll be about 185, 190 pounds, right? Regular, slightly bigger than your average dude. And I know what it is when you walk on a dude who is 6'5", 250 pounds. Them motherfuckers big as shit. Okay, and if you start throwing hands with them, you better be damn good because if they hit you with something, your shit's gonna spin. They just big, you know what I mean? Them just some big ass dudes, and I feel the same way when somebody is like 5'2", 5'3", weigh 120 pounds, weigh 130 pounds, and dude, I know that if I land something on you, you're spinning. You're going to sleep. There's just no doubt you're going to spin. Size is talent, okay? And in boxing got this thing where some people don't understand or they want to get like, for example, with Manny Pacquiao. I've been having this conversation with Pacquiao fans all week. Like Junior the Truth, a big boy, dog. You got to stay away. You know what I mean? It's a big that's a big dude. If Manny Pacquiao guys were saying all this stuff, right? Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter ever because he won championships in 8 divisions. Now, aside from correcting him and saying it's really 7 at the most, 6 really, because the IBO at 140 pounds where he fought Hatton is not a championship belt, and 152 pounds is not a weight class. Regardless, there's no way somebody that is 6'2" and 160 pounds can fight in 8 weight classes. They'd run out of weight classes. Heavyweights can't fight in 8 weight classes because there's not 8 weight classes above heavyweight. The only people who can fight in 8 weight classes are little guys. And all of the weight classes for Manny Pacquiao, that from the one he started in to the one that he ended in is 40 pounds. Deontay Wilder was outweighed by 50 pounds by Tyson Fury in the same weight class. But here's the thing. When you talk, and this is what I'm saying, if Manny Pacquiao's all that big and bad, do what Roy Jones Jr. did, take your ass to heavyweight. There's nothing preventing any of those guys from getting in there at weigh-in, fighting Deontay Wilder, 6'7", 223. Manny Pacquiao, 5'6", 146.5 pounds. Dude, when you talking about who objectively talking about who the baddest fighters are, it's the heavyweights. Period. If you can't whoop them, shut your ass up and say, I'm the best guy in this weight class, because you're protected. No heavyweight is protected. Everybody that is not in the heavyweight division is protected by that scale. If that guy comes in any heavier than what's on that scale, he cannot fight. That's protection. Heavyweights, there's no protection. They don't even need a weigh-in. They do that shit for fucking press. They're like, okay, well, let's just get in and show off our muscles. Have you ever seen a heavyweight miss weight?
Nope.
Never. They have to fight whoever it is that gets into the ring. You had the heavyweight division, you had heavyweight divisions, and then they were like, it's not fair on these little dudes. We need to get these little dudes some belts. We need to be able to market them. So look, let's make up these weight classes and we can have them fight for the division of that weight class. Manny Pacquiao cannot beat Andre Ward. And so what I said about who the greatest is, this is my opinion in the ring, is this. Deontay Wilder could make this argument. I can agree with it or not agree with it. I'll beat anybody that ever fought in the boxing ring ever. Give them to me. I'll fight him. Bring Ali in, I'll fight him. Bring Joe Foreman in, George Foreman, I'll fight him. Jack Johnson, I'll fight him. I got a chance to win. Floyd, you can't say that. You can't say it. You can't say, give me anybody that ever stepped into a ring. If you can't do that, dog, be satisfied with making a lot of money. But you always keep your mouth shut when them big boys walk up on you, because you know that's the deal. And no other sport lets you do that. Nobody, Spud Webb can't be looking at, Spud Webb fans can't say, well, he's only 5'6", but if he was taller, he'd be posting up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. No, he was something. He ain't, and he can't. He'd never make the league. If they just had a heavyweight league, right? Just a free-for-all, boxing free-for-all, right? We're gonna have a tournament. We're gonna draft and we don't care about weight classes. We're gonna draft the best fighters. We're gonna put them in a ring like a tournament, and we ain't got no weight classes. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao's little asses would be sitting in the bench commentating. Well, let me tell you what I think will happen in this one. Because they wouldn't get in the ring. Because they ain't big enough, dog. Size is talent. And when Deontay Wilder looked down at Gervonta Davis like this, that little dude knew. And everybody else knew, because TV, you can't tell looking at TV how big these dudes are. And I just went to the Jamal Charlo fight, man. You remember Rocky Juarez?
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I'm next to Rocky Juarez. I stood talked to Rocky Juarez, and I'll prove it. See this right here? This is Rocky Juarez's business card right there, right? Rocky Juarez, owner, head coach of Rocky's boxing gym, right? That's Rocky Juarez's card. Let me tell you, man, he's the same size my son was when my son was 8. Okay.
Oh man.
Literally, no disrespect to him, but literally, he could not shake my whole hand. His fingers were like, he could barely get his fingers around the base of my hand. But if he won titles in 8 divisions, you think he's greater than Tyson? I met Mike Tyson. That dude is scary. That dude is scary to look at, let alone fight. That dude is not that tall. You ever seen Tyson?
Yeah, I met Mike Tyson before in Bentley's nightclub in New York, and he used to be at this box. Yeah, I used to go there every week.
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it was a boxing bar in Jersey City, New Jersey. Arturo Gatti and Mike Tyson used to be there. When it closed down, Mike Tyson put the money up and then opened back up. Man, nice guy. He's wide. He's broad back, broad shoulders. You know, not that tall, but broad. You know, and I just want to say real quick, for people gravitate to heavyweights ever since Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, George Foreman, Sonny Liston, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. When they make a movie, it's usually about heavyweights. The Rocky series, most successful franchise of all time, and sports movies. So we have a thing about heavyweights. Excuse me, Deontay Wilder fits that bill. What's more gravitating to see a big punching heavyweight? Before that Brazil fight, I was on the edge of my seat. I haven't been like that since the heydays of Mike Tyson. And so that's what heavyweight division brings to the table.
Yeah, Greg Rewise said you just described the tough man tournament. Yeah. If that's a tough man tournament, how many 5'2", 115-pound dudes from Japan are in that tough man tournament? Dog, get out of here, man. I mean, dog, seriously, man. I love boxing. I really do. I love watching boxing. I love watching good fights. But come on, man. How many grown men are there literally in the world? Grown men. What percentage of grown men in the world, full grown, are 5'3", 115 pounds? That is a Lilliputian. Okay, that is a what is that shit in a Oompa Loomp? Is that
Oompa Loompas? The Oompa
Loompas.
That's an Oompa Loomp.
Let me share this. Let me share this story. I've been around Mike a few times. I've given him dap or whatever, but I've never like rolled with his set, but I've been around. I used to bounce at some clubs. Kurt, you familiar with the Tunnel? They used to be in New York.
I used to be there every Sunday night.
Jesus Christ. Okay. For those that don't know, the Tunnel, you want to talk about a hole in the wall, thugged out. The bathrooms was co-ed. Okay?
Yep.
The bathrooms was co-ed. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And one night, all right, now the rapper Fat Joe told this story. And when he told this story, I said, oh shit, I was there that night. I'm outside and a couple of trucks pull up. Mike comes out, right? Joe was already there. He's standing in front. Now I didn't hear what was said. All I saw was what happened. I didn't know what was said until like, I swear to God, like 15 years later. The story is Joe tried to get into the tunnel, right? And the bouncer was like, nah, it's a fire hazard. You can't, but he's like, yo, man, I'm Terror Squad. I'm Fat Joe. Let me in. He's like, nah. So, Joe was like, he's staying outside with some of his boys. So the trucks pull up. Now I'm outside on the corner just watching. Now, this was 90s, Mike. Now, when he pulled up, what I did was I walked to the corner because he rolled with a rowdy bunch. And I watched Mike interact with they used to be like camera guys that stood in front of clubs and they'd take your picture with the Polaroid. And, I've watched Mike do some really like what I call bully tactics. I've seen him in the, well, let me just finish this story. So Mike goes up to Joe and he says, yo, why you standing out here? Joe, why you standing out here? He says, yeah, man, they say, yo, it's full of the capacity, I can't get in. He said, what? He goes to the 6'9" bouncer. Yo, man, let Joe in. Sorry, Mike, I can't. Words were exchanged. Next thing you know, Mike is chasing this grown-ass man around a car. Chasing him around the car. And I'm standing there with my friends like, oh, shit. Now, he could have caught him if he wanted to. But Mike, this was Mike Tyson. This was the champ. And he was just chasing him around a parked car. And the dude's like, yo, chill, Mike, chill. Other bouncers came out and they're like, yo, we that's the champ, man. Safe to say, they ended up letting Joe in, like 5 of his friends, and all of Mike's entourage got in. And this is a fire hazard at this point. But that's just one story. But I used to see Mike, those camera dudes I mentioned. I've seen him in the middle of taking a picture. I remember watching this dude take a picture with his girl. Mike walks up and snatched the cameraman away. Yo, cameraman, come here, take a picture with my boys here. In the middle of taking a picture, just snatched the guy away. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's Mike Tyson. But crazy's 24/7. And Mike, he knew who to do it to, because on the flip side, there was always Kurt, you remember how not Bentley's, well, Bentley's too, but how the tunnel used to look after. Everybody would hang around outside.
Yep.
There, Mike didn't press the dudes that were knowingly street dudes, the drug dealers, the gun runners, because they wasn't fighting Mike. I used to hear them talk, yo, he come over here with that nonsense, I'm just gonna plug him. And Mike knew that. It was only a matter of time. I was saying, that's why I said, jail might have been the best thing for him, because the way he was acting out in the street, somebody was going to get him. He was going to read about him getting shot dead in the street. Because these guys was going to knuckle up with him. You know what I'm saying? Those guys were going to plug Mike. But Mike was a wild boy. But Mike, I'm 6'2". Mike was about 5'10". I was clearly taller than him, but he was a wide dude. Very wide. Very, very wide. And his neck was like a fire hydrant. So by stature, he's shorter than me, but he was a wide dude.
That's a big head.
But to see a 5'10", he's big dude, man. To see a 5'10" dude chase around a 6'7", 300-pound man around a parked car, I must say that was kind of funny. That was hilarious, man.
Real quick, because I miss Christopher Journey. He says, salute to the panel. For 9, you're a little dude. You look like a flyweight, man. Please, dog. If there wasn't 340 people on here, I tell you what on me is built like a flyweight, dog. Nigga, I piss out a flyweight. What you talking about? Shit. I'm toting a flyweight. Them little ass dudes. Yeah, hey, man, Bo One said Wilder has a presence in and out of the ring. Yes, he does, man. Wilder's crazy. I'm gonna tell you, I don't ever want to see it. I hope the dude don't ever hear me say this, but I think that dude is certified, dog. Because people are like, he's so nice. He's so nice. He's so nice. He's talking to Kornacki like, yeah, man. He's like, so what are we gonna do? Like, how do you see yourself fighting me? Right? And he's like, well, pressure. He said, yeah, it's going to be difficult to keep you on the outside, but, whole time I'm thinking, this dude's thinking, man, I'll kill this dude. As soon as they get kill that dude, man. What he did to Dominic Brazil, I don't care what anybody says, dog. That shot can land on anybody. That shit that he did to Dominic, because Dominic Brazil ain't have no really iffy chin.
Nope.
Dog, what he did, the way he dropped, dude, the way he has flapjacked. How many cats have done that plunge where they like their whole body, like they lose control of their whole body and just flop out? He did that shit to Brazil. He did it to Fury. He did it to Spilka. He did it to
Sergey Lahovic. Sergey Lahovic. I thought he killed him.
Oh, that was a brutal knockout. Oof.
Yeah.
I gotta see that one.
Yeah, he was twitching on the ground. I thought he killed him for real. I thought he killed him. That was bad.
Yeah, he looked like Ingemar Johansson twitching on the ground like that, man.
Yeah, his hands was in the. He started shaking. I said, "Oh no!" When I saw it, I was like, "No, please, no!" Because when that happens, that means some shit is detached, and it was scary, man. I really thought he killed him.
Dude,
I thought he killed.
He's turning off. Dude is turning off people's electric. He's turning their circuitry off. Because they lose all control of their body, dog. It's like the only thing that kept Dominic Brazil, like the kinetic chain, right? Like when you do a serve, like a tennis serve, it starts with your feet, it goes all the way through your hips, or a punch, right? It really starts with your feet and goes through your hips. You turn and it winds up at the end of your punch.
Uh-huh.
He's making people go through the reverse of the kinetic chain. Like they fall out from their feet. then their motherfucking back, then their shoulders, then their neck, then their hand. That shit, it ain't like he's knocking them down and they're taking, or that shit is crazy. And that's why I don't think that dude really, man, that shit is scary, man.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. You know, I watch a lot of film on fighters every single day. Hours of films. And Tommy Hearns, Julian Jackson, and Deontay Wilder, when they hit you, your body does weird contortions. I want you to look at Julian Jackson knockouts when he knocked out Buster Drayton and Juan Negron, people like that. And Tommy Hearns when he knocked out Pepino Cuevas and Roberto Duran. And Deontay Wilder with Spilka and Brazil. That's not normal. That's very abnormal. When you can punch like that, I just hope they don't kill anybody. It's very, very dangerous. Those guys, you can't teach what they have. People are born with that punching power. It's unreal. And Deontay Wilder is going to etch his name in the annals of boxing history as one of the hardest punching fighters that ever laced up the gloves. Point blank.
Yeah, that's something. That's really something. I will go check out Wilder Lakovic.
That's a scary knockout, man. That's a scary knockout.
No,
that's scary. I saw it when it happened. Like it was actually happening, and when he hit him, and he started doing all that, break dancing on the floor. I said, "Oh, I was in the house, like, oh no! Oh my God! I thought we had one in the ring. I thought we had a death in the ring. I'm serious. I thought we had a death in the ring. I am so serious because I got scared. Like my heart was racing and everything. That was crazy.
All right, you're gonna see a real time on this one because here it is right here. Fighter gets KO'd. Ooh, Lord. Okay. All right, here it goes. This is a short one. I got to see this. It's only 30 seconds, so.
Look what he does on the floor.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Ooh, dude, he got them legs are locked. Dude, his legs are locked. And they trying to and Deontay Wilder don't even care. Blew him a kiss. What? That dude's legs. Hey, dude, his legs locked. Kind of looks like that knockout from Teofimo Lopez. That last dude whose arm was stretched out straight. Yeah, his body's like a mug, huh?
Yeah, he looked like he had a seizure.
And Samira said, "I'm not a huge Wilder fan, but he can hit." Let me tell you, Lynn. I don't know if you're a female or a male, so I'm gonna, I know Lynn or both. So forgive me if I don't know what your gender is. However, man, let me tell you, Deontay Wilder can fight. It's not that he can just fight. You got to be able to put that stuff up, man. Deontay Wilder can box, but if it makes you feel better, it makes you feel better that he can't do anything but punch. I'm telling you, I think he's gonna really hurt Tyson Fury. If he gets he goes with body shots, Tyson Fury, and executes a game plan against Tyson Fury. Because I tell you, I think Tyson Fury's his biggest talent is that he's tall. That's the biggest talent that he has, is that he's tall. Anyway, the best boxing conversation is centered around skills and record. Of course, someone 250 will beat 175. However, all things being equal, who has a better skill? John Collins, let me go off on you for a second because I ain't going off on somebody for a while. I don't think the best boxing conversation can revolve around whatever you're interested in. Whatever you're interested in. But here's the fact of the matter. Get your skills in the ring with somebody that hits you hard enough, you're going to fuck to sleep. Okay? All of that, who has the best skills and who has the best record, all that shit's subjective. That's all. Whose record is better? Manny Pacquiao's has the best record. Really? Does he? And say that makes me have to go through Manny Pacquiao's record and look and point to these facts. He lost. Let's go through the 2 times he got knocked out. The 2 times he got knocked out by dudes that weighed less than 120 pounds. He lost to an over-the-hill Eric Morales. He lost, in my opinion, since you want to talk about opinions, my opinion, he lost to one 3 times, and he got dropped on his face once. He lost to Jeff Horn. He lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr. easy. His best wins came when many people thought he was under the influence of performance-enhancing drugs. He beat Cotto, who had already been beaten by Margarito. He beat Hatton, who had already just come off a knockout by Floyd Mayweather Jr. He beat Oscar De La Hoya, who had fought at middleweight, drained down to 146, and had already lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr. He just beat Keith Thurman, who hadn't been in a high-level fight in over 2 years. He lost to Tim Bradley, and that's what I would say what his record is. You want to say, look, he won in 8 divisions. First of all, he didn't win in 8 divisions. If you're talking about Pacquiao, he didn't win in 8 divisions. He didn't win championships in 8 divisions. He did it in 6, but he never unified the belt ever. Every weight class that he ever fought in, there were always multiple champions there at the same time. You want to break down records like that? I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to do this little ass by he got beat up. He got beat up. You get beat up by you get beat up by Sugar Ray Leonard. You get beat up by Thomas Hearns. You get beat up by every heavyweight that probably ever stepped into the ring. Yeah, he's an all-time great. Yeah, but there's a lot of all-time greats. These cats are trying to say he's the greatest fighter of all time. They're not talking about an all-time great. They're talking about there's echo in my room because I'm speaking loud. Anyway, I'll end on that. Drew, I'm sorry, man. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, to elaborate on that, that same person that was asking that question, do they know why the term pound for pound was even created? I don't think they do. You know, it was created specifically for the smaller guys. It was created for Sugar Ray Robinson so you can get the same props that a guy like Joe Louis would get. Because for years, we knew the baddest man on the planet was the heavyweight champion of the world. So to get so for the smaller guys to get recognition, they started this pound for pound stuff, and the term, the definition.
Hey, quick, Drew. Yeah. Hey, Kurt, can you go on? I'm gonna put my microphone on mute. Can you put your microphone on mute too? Because people are getting an echo.
Oh, okay. Let me put on mute.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that did the trick. Yeah, I think the term pound for pound the definition got lost in the shuffle. That's awful. You know, pound for pound was created for a guy like Sugar Ray Robinson, so he can get the same credit that the heavyweight champion in the world was getting. Which is why when we talk about pound for pound, we're not supposed to be factoring in the heavyweights. Now I know through decades, you know, that's changed. I've seen pound for pound lists that had Vladimir Klitschko on it. And then you got to wonder, okay, well, what do you mean by pound for pound? What do you mean by pound for pound? I've seen people take a pound for pound conversation and they start talking about purses. I mean, really? Purses? You want to talk about who generated what, seat sales and purses? Come on now. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about record. Who has the most killers? Who's been the most active? You know, come on now. I mean, these guys don't know what they're talking about. All right. So, you know, you ask that guy, that's not saying that the guys in the lighter divisions aren't all-time greats. I mean, if you say Ray Robinson's not an all-time great, you're on crack. You're on the same crack that Tyson Fury was on. You know, your pupils are small. You know, but you know, the just to say you're all-time great, that don't mean you're pound for pound. All right. So Manny is an all-time great, but all of his biggest wins, they're shrouded by alleged steroid use and weight drains. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about his latest win over Keith Thurman. That looked like the Manny Pacquiao from 2005. Did it not? You know, I saw a stat. I don't know how concrete it is, but he threw like 500 more punches than he did last fight. Did that look like the same Manny Pacquiao that fought Jeff Horn? It didn't to me. No drug testing. Okay, well, all right. I'm not trying to say anything. I just want to let the man live. I don't want to discuss drugs. But you see, the resurrection of the Pactard is real. They came right back out of their holes. Now he could beat the world now. Stop, man. Stop, man. Stop. He beat Keith Thurman, whom we had a problem with anyway. All right. Whom turns out wasn't really the killer that he said to be. He was still rusty. And pretty much, I believe he was made to order. He was made to order. Now, I did pick him to win. And then when it was brought to my attention that this guy refused testing, I didn't want to go back on my word, so I stuck to my word. I just said, all right, I'm just going to go. That means they could possibly both be juiced. So if they're both juiced, I'm going to go with the younger guy. Hey, I was wrong. But please, Pactards, pump your brakes. Enjoy the win, but pump your brakes. Because Errol called him out and he fought Thurman. Let that sink in. Errol called him out to his face. He couldn't even give him more than 30 seconds of direct eye contact. And he fought he fought Thurman. Errol called him out. He fought Thurman. Think about that. Let that sink in. And guess what? They're on the same side of the street now. They're on the same side of the street, so there's no excuse. There's no excuse. So let's see what Manny does. So I don't want to bully Manny, but let's see what he does.
I want to say something real quick. When you talk about pound for pound, I have Robinson, Ali 1 and 2, man. I never seen two fighters like that my whole entire life. Ali was a heavyweight that can glide around the ring as a middleweight. Look at Ali in the 60s, not the 70s, because he wasn't the same fighter. In 1966, against Cleveland Williams, he was at his supreme best when he fought Zero Foley. The eye and foot, the hand speed, the eye and foot coordination, the shuffling of the feet. He was a beautiful fighter to watch. It was like watching a virtuoso performance. I never seen a fighter like that. And this is a heavyweight. Remember going into the Frazier fight, he was 31-0 with maybe 25, 26 KO. He's cut a lot of his opponents because he was a sharp puncher. And then you had Sugar Ray Robinson, who was undefeated as an amateur, 89-0 with 69 knockouts, 40 in the first round. His first 11 years of his career, 1940, 1951, his record was 132 wins, 1 defeat, 2 draws, with 84 knockouts. So let that sink in. So that's why they're two of my favorite fighters of all time.
No argument from me. 15 rounds, this guy was bouncing around like that. He could bounce around for 15 rounds, and that's another thing. 15 rounds separates the men from the boys, man. What death in the ring stopped that? I forget.
That was Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Dooku Kim in 1982.
The Korean fella. Yeah, that's what did it.
Yeah, I think it's TV time too, though. I don't like any of them same day wins and all that stuff. But look, man, I got a lot of respect for Manny Pacquiao, and I don't want to say that. I definitely think this dude is one of the best fighters, one of the most gifted fighters that I've seen fight. I like the dude. I like everything the dude represents as a person. I really do. So I don't want to get it confused. But what we do a lot of time, what people do a lot of times, and I think like my father's generation did with Muhammad Ali to Joe Louis, is that we think what we see right now is always the best. But to be honest, you don't really know what was happening before, So just like when Drew Titan brought up the purses, right? I mean, you can always make these arguments. Like Floyd Mayweather Jr. says, hey, I made more money than Muhammad Ali. That's why I'm greater than Ali. So then you say, okay, well, even if you want to use that as a standard of measurement, Muhammad Ali, when he retired, was the highest paid sportsman in the history of sports. He made more money than any professional athlete had ever made by 2. Is that the case with Floyd? No. Floyd hasn't made more money than Tiger Woods. But Ali made more money than Arnold Palmer, more money than Jack Nicholson. But Floyd, and then somebody put on my page like, Floyd made what's his name? Ali made $10 million in his fight against Larry Holmes in 1980, right? And Manny Pacquiao made $100 million against Floyd. Like, man, you just trying to find ways. First of all, the whole subject about who made more money isn't, who cares? But even if you do that, you got to take, if you want to do that, take a net present value. You say, okay, how much money is $10 million worth in 1980? What's the buying power of it now? $10 million in 1980 is $30 million today. And that's a guaranteed purse. That's not even an upside with pay-per-view. So Ali would get $30 million guaranteed and a pay-per-view. Ali does a pay-per-view against Larry Holmes. That's a 2.5, 3 million people. That's a 2.5 million pay-per-view fight at $100 a pop. So that's 200 million. That's 200 million. That's 150 million he'd probably get for that fight. Which is why these cats need to get wise with Deontay Wilder. And you see what's happening with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Why these guys were willing to say, look, I'll give you $50 million guaranteed. And, AJ, we'll give you $50 million right away. Because, first of all, records are always meant to be broken. Always. Because people will find a way to allow the record to be broken so that you can sell somebody on the idea that they broke a record. Like the 8 weight classes. If the 8 weight classes are true, right? Say it was 8. Give them credit for an IBO at 140. Give Manny Pacquiao credit for a 152 catch weight fight for a 154-pound belt and say that's 8 weight classes. In 1926, how many weight classes would that have been? And you know how many, Curtis, how many weight classes would that same going from fighting at 115 to going to fight at 152, how many weight classes is that? That's 4. I'm sorry for
now. Yeah, go ahead. I had to unmute my mic.
Yeah,
they didn't have as many weight classes in them days in 1926.
Yeah,
you know, they just didn't. Henry Armstrong did something that's incredible that nobody talk about. He was featherweight champion, skipped the lightweight division, they didn't have junior welterweight, went to welterweight, beat Barney Ross, then dropped back down to lightweight at 135 and became champion. So nobody never talks about that feat, and I don't want to take away from Manny Pacquiao because I love any fighter who brings popularity to the sport of boxing, but it usually packed to our fans, Fanon and Drew. And see, when somebody that looks like you come from the same place as you have a tendency instinctively to elevate them better than the other fighters that don't look like you. So they become sort of delusional. So I understand that. Boxing is about race, country, and pride. I understand that. But he's nowhere near the best fighter ever lived. He's nowhere near it. And so, I could squash that argument.
Hey, let me make a statement to this Merlin dude. Merlin Magic. You say you can't compare the past to now. Dumbass, the past is yesterday. You always are comparing the past. Any comparison that you make is the past. 2 weeks ago was the past. A month ago was in the past. The fights that happened last night were in the past. In order to not compare the past, you would have to be comparing the future, which is what you can't do. The only things that you can compare, only events and people that you compare, all of their actions that you're comparing happened in the past. Think before you write, man. Think. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
What was he even trying to say?
He was saying that it's 8 today. He said it's 8 today. And it's, first of all, Merlin Magic, he didn't win him in 8 divisions. He did not. He won him in 6. The IBO is not a major championship belt, okay? It's not a major championship belt. He won the 140 pounds. He beat Ricky Hatton, and that was not for a major championship belt. It was for the IBO, okay? Just like he didn't win a championship when he beat Adrian Braun and he fought for the WBA regular title. That wasn't a belt. Okay, that is a mandatory, that's a contender belt. Okay, stop it. 152-pound vacant belt that he never defended against Antonio Margarito for the WBC title. It was a catch weight of 152 pounds. That's not a weight class. He's never fought somebody that weighed in at 154 pounds. How can you say that he was a champion of weight division that he never fought in? He's never fought in the 154-pound division because he made the one fight he had, he made the guy weigh in at 152.
Ridiculous.
That's not, get out of here. That's 6. He has 6. And the fact that he has 6 ties him with Oscar De La Hoya, who also has 6. 160, 154, 147, 140, 135, 130, and usually 140, 135, and 130. That's what Oscar De La Hoya has. Oscar De La Hoya has 6, just like Manny Pacquiao has 6. This is a real boxing channel, dude. We will actually listen to what they market and go look and see if it's true. You got guys like you, I assume, believe that Gennady Golovkin successfully defended his middleweight title 20 times when he didn't. He successfully defended a major championship belt 9 times. And I had to repeat it over and over and over and over again, people, and they still kept going with, oh, he tied Bernard Hopkins. No, he did not. Ever tie. Well, he wasn't close to Bernard Hopkins because he won the WBA. They were counting like 9 defenses of the WBA regular title when Felix Sturm was also a champion. But the reason that they said that Gennady Golovkin was a champion is because Gennady Golovkin was fighting on HBO. And HBO Championship Boxing had to say that he was a champion when he wasn't a champion. I think he won his first major championship belt against Daniel Gill.
Yep, that's what it was. It was Daniel Gill.
So you hear all the time, you'll hear marketing people from like ESPN is now saying that the Tyson Fury is the lineal champion, when all he is the ex-ring champion. He's not a lineal champion. He's the ex-ring champion. You keep hearing people saying that Manny Pacquiao won titles in 8 divisions, and he did not. He won them in 6 because 140 isn't a major championship belt, and 152 is not a champion. Is not a weight class. So stop. If you're going to talk about go to BoxRec and walk down the record. Look at the titles that he won. But you would actually have to know what a championship belt is. Because if you want to give Manny Pacquiao credit for the 140, you might as well give him credit for the regional championships that he won when he was down at 115. But quite honestly, I believe that the 115-pound titles are regional titles. That's how I believe they're regional titles. 112 and 115, I don't care what the title is, those are regional titles. Those are Japanese regional titles. Because nobody in America is fighting. You don't have anybody fighting but Japanese fighters fighting Japanese fighters in those weight divisions. That's not a world weight division because there's so few people that fight at 112 pounds. You're talking about grown men that weigh 112 pounds. Those are from areas where there's enough men to do that. But anyway.
You want to talk about marketing. I recall HBO, not acknowledging Floyd Mayweather at all as a title holder when they were going through their list of champions. I clearly remember that. In fact, when they did refer to Floyd, they referred to him as a son of a bitch. Live on air.
Who?
Live.
Oh, HBO?
Yeah. Yep. Live on air. They didn't even acknowledge him as a champion. They were listing up their champions. I forget which fight night it was, but I'm like, where's Floyd? I'm like, oh, wait, they listed all the welterweight champions. Where's Floyd? Oh, okay. And then when they did bring up Floyd, they referred to him as a son of a bitch. And this was after he went to Showtime. Oh my God. I said, I can't believe this. Well, I can believe it. I can believe it. Well, like I said, John Lennon, man, instant karma. Because where's HBO now? Great.
How many weight classes did Floyd fight in? Well, I know he fought in 147 when he beat Pacquiao.
Oh, they want to go there?
I know that. And beat him easy, unless you watch it in slow motion. Anyway, man, let's get these closing statements on. I know other people want to go live. It's a lot of fun, man. Much love to everybody in the super chat. Hey, man, let them know how to get in contact with Kurt.
All right, man. Phenomenal, man. This is a great show, man. Had a lot of fun, you and Drew Titan, man. This is real boxing talk. You can find me at World Breaker Fighting and I have another show under the World Breaker Fighting called Kurt Sugar versus the World. You can find me there, Monday through Fridays in the morning. We're filling in for Blue Blood, if you want to hear real boxing talk, we have several channels in the LDBC. Shout out to the chat. Fanon and Drew, great show.
All right, Drew, let them know about that channel, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can follow me at Drew Titan on Instagram. You can also follow me at Drew Titan on YouTube. I have a fun show called Drew Titan's What If. We're going to talk about scenarios like boxing history, like what if certain things happen in another direction? Where would that lead the specific divisions that I'm talking about? What if this guy beat that guy? What if this guy lost? How would that shape the landscape? I'm also going to be doing LDVC strong sessions. I'm going to be talking about health and wellness and staying in shape because a brother's 43 years old and I ain't got nothing but my life to worry about. So, the 40-40 challenge is real. I suggest everyone to get on it. It's a 40-40 push-up challenge. And the rule is, if you can't do 40, jump up and do something else. Do as many push-ups as you can do. Get up and if you can do 10 push-ups, get up and do 30 jumping jacks. Complete that 40, man. But get physical. Let's get well. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is a mental thing. As far it's not only it's a mental thing and it's also a physical thing, but it's a mental thing. But health is important, man. But be on the lookout for LDBC strong sessions, man.
Yes, sir.
Great show for now. Thank you for having me on, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on, Drew. Thank you for coming on, Kurt. All right, man. So we out, man.
Peace.
Peace.